I want to talk to you today about why in your 30s and 40s, not only is it possible to find love, but why I believe it's an amazing time, stage, and age to be dating. So here we go. Question for you. Are you the same person today that you were in your late teens, early 20s, mid 20s? Probably the answer to that is no. When I was in my 20s, most of my friends actually got married. But if I stand here now and think back to that time, there is no way that I was in the emotional and mental space to make that type of decision for my life. And I'm actually not upset about it that I actually found love a little bit later in life. And I really believe that that's the way it needed to be for me, because I was definitely not the person in my late teens, early 20s, even mid 20s that was ready to be married to someone for the remainder of my life. Let's be honest. I will be honest about that. So why are some reasons why this age and stage is a great time to date? So I believe that if you have been intentional about doing your work on yourself, that you should know yourself more. You have, hopefully by this time, had some life experiences that allowed you again to learn a little bit more about yourself, that allowed you to go through some things in life, tackle some challenges in life, and be able to hopefully become a better, more well-rounded person because of those experiences. Hopefully you are a little more settled. Maybe you don't feel the need to be out and about partying every single weekend or anything like that, compared to maybe when you were in your 20s. And why did it work for me? So for me personally, I was able to just gain more confidence in myself. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, even mid 20s, I had very low sense of self-confidence, sense of self, sense of self-worth. And that really informed the experiences that I had during those times of dating. So once I got to my early 30s, mid 30s, and I actually did that work to build up my confidence and work on myself, that really showed up in the types of people that I was choosing and in my dating experience as a whole. So how did I get more self-confidence? So I really took a lot of time once I was in my I would say late 20s, to really get intentional about self-development. Luckily, I'm somebody who's a reader, so I moved away from a lot of the fiction books that I was reading and really dug down into that personal development. And there are so many books still to this day on my bookshelf that really helped me in that journey of just solidifying myself and who I am from the inside out, and to build that confidence. So I really highly recommend that as a path that you can take, whether that's reading books, whether that's listening to audiobooks, podcasts, anything that can help you develop more as a person, be a better person, learn a little bit more about life. Journaling is one thing I would highly recommend. I think one thing that's missing from a lot of us for women is we are not willing to be self-reflective. So a lot of times we are putting the blame on everyone else except for looking in the mirror and looking at, the common denominator in all of our interactions and all of our relationships is us. And if we want that to get better, we have to take that upon ourselves and take accountability to make changes, because as my coach would always tell me, the relationships that I was attracting was always a reflection of me. So everything starts with us, and it starts from the inside. One thing that we don't like to admit, men are visual creatures, right? And they like to like what they're looking at. So how we take care of our physical appearance is really important. And that's something that I have been able to do consistently now at the age of, I always forget, I forget what age I turned, just turned 45. And I've made it a very intentional practice of mine over the last decade to make sure that I'm always regularly exercising, regularly taking care of my body. So if you want to be dating out here in your 30s and 40s, one thing that you want to just make sure is that you look after your physical body. And that actually will also translate into other areas of your life when it comes to taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind. Physical activity is really, really also effective when it comes to your emotional and mental health as well. So it's just great all around to make sure that you look after that physical health. And lastly, I want to talk about when dating in your 30s and 40s, why it won't work. A couple reasons. It's not going to work if you're always, always, always blaming men. So if you're always blaming men for everything and you're not being curious or self-reflective about what part you've been playing in your relationship history, that's when it is absolutely not going to work. It's not going to work if you've kind of ended up crossing that line of you've become so used to being alone and single that you start to get stuck in your ways and there becomes really no space for somebody else to be a part of your life. So be very careful. That I think it's really important that you're comfortable in your own skin, that you enjoy your own company, but don't get so far to the point where you start to get stuck in your ways that nobody will be able to enter into your life and your space. And just overall having a really negative attitude about men, about dating, about love, about what's possible for you. So overall, I think it's just really important to maintain a positive mindset when it comes to dating in your 30s and 40s. You have to discipline yourself because there are so many negative narratives out there that you believe that it's possible for you. I knew for me, I knew in my heart and my mind and my soul that it was coming, and I was expectant, and it happened. So I know that it can happen for you if it happened for me. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave me a comment. Would love to hear from you. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer in a future video, be sure to leave that in the comments as well. Make sure that you subscribe if this is information that you feel is helpful, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.